Big Drift, the favourite defenceman. He was a bit difficult to load into the gates, and a number of runners have been supported. Racing, Greenkirk jumped well, defenceman didn't. It's second last out of the gates. So Greenkirk, Lord Elrond and the Ruffy Thrill Hunter going forward out wide. Pearly Dubai settles in fourth. Defenceman improves on the rails, and the inside of King Campania. Taken back Anthropoid, and Predation on the fence last of all. Greenkirk shows the way from Thrill Hunter. Defenceman goes to third. Inside Lord Elrond and Pearly Dubai couldn't find a spot in it. Anthropoid's out the back and wide. Further back to King Campania, firing up close to heels, and Predation improves on the rails. Greenkirk turns the corner in front by 2. Now defenceman giving chase from Thrill Hunter, and a gap further back to Lord Elrond, and Pearly Dubai with gas in the tank is still coming. Defenceman moves up to Greenkirk. Thrill Hunter still there. Then came Pearly Dubai. It's Thrill Hunter and defenceman, and now Pearly Dubai is eating into the margin. The Ruffy Thrill Hunter in front. Thrill Hunter from Pearly Dubai. There's one for the bookies. Thrill Hunter, a half length to Pearly Dubai. Defenceman Every Hope third, just in front of Anthropoid. Further back there to Lord Elrond, who had Every Hope. Then Predation, Greenkirk got tied, and Lord King Campania was last in.
Terry Croft, Thrill Hunter, Ash Morgan in the saddle. Thrill Hunter has won $43.70 and $6. SP's around 60 to 1, fixed odds. Look at that saddle, Corey.
It was a long ride there for Ash Morgan. That saddle is lucky to stay on that horse. He had no breastplate or not even a neck strap to hold on to. So have a look at the slow-mo, but that saddle is so lucky to stay on there.
Ronnie, what do you make of that?
Well, the Royal Hotel at Windsor would be jumping up and down. I had one of the owners ring me yesterday and sort of asked me what I thought of her.
What did you tell her?
I said, Josh, she might be better with a run under a break. He said, yeah, I agree with that, but but I think they may have had a little bet there. But the good luck to them, she left them no excuses behind because she just covered a bit of ground. She was strong, and she'd obviously improved with those couple of trials under her belt, and they get the money.
8, 7, 2 and 1. So we'll have to go back and look at when that saddle started to go back, Corey.
Well, I was actually, I didn't see it in the run, but I noticed it just the last 50 metres. When the saddle slips back like that, Rads, the jockeys in horse, they generally can't do a lot on them. You can't give them a bit of a rub. So you just sit there, because he would have known that saddle has slipped. I'm tipping it slipped right at the start when they left the barriers, as in how far back it is.
58.98 is the race time. 34.81. 8, 7, 2 and 1. Thrill Hunter is the winner. 7 second Pride of Dubai. Number 2 has run third, and that is Defenceman. So Thrill Hunter cost $280,000 as a yearling. Terry Croft's the winning trainer. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations.
Yeah, very good.
Tell us about this filly. Tell us her story.
Oh, we went to sales and we had picked her out at the sales. Actually liked her. Peter really liked her. And I bought another one. We bought a bit on a couple, and I bought another Zeus Star filly, a very nice filly. I said, oh, that'll do us. And she was passed in. And he really liked her. Anyway, he rings me up that night and goes, I bought that other one, you know. I said, oh, well, fair enough. Yeah, but she was very nice. She's got a good pedigree, and she's out of an old mare. That's probably why we probably got her a bit cheaper than, really. And I said, don't worry. Secretariat was out of an old mare.
Now, was this in the original noms for this race?
No, she was a late nom. There was only 7 nominated. We were thinking of taking her to Melbourne, actually, for the English banner, first off. And Kieran Rowe the other day said, he said, don't worry, she'd race very well, but I don't think she could win it. But might have a different opinion now.
Yeah, for sure. So what made your mind up to throw in a late nom? Just the fact that there were so few runners?
Well, there's not much racing on, really. A couple of weeks there's that other big race on here, that Golden Gift, I think.
Yep.
But that's going to be a very strong race, I would think. And I thought, it was only small noms, and we're very happy with the way she's done since she raced, trialled, I should say. The only other race was that one at Newcastle, but that's another 3 or 4 weeks away, yeah. So I said, poor noms will have a throw at the stumps here first and see what happens.
What are you going to do now?
Well, we don't know yet. We'll just have to see how she pulls up. If she pulls up all right, I might still take her to Melbourne yet. Might as well while they're going good.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations.
She's got good gate speed. She can put herself there, so that's half the battle, I think.
Good on you, Terry. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Terry Croft, winning trainer after the Kirkham Plate. And Corey's about to find out from Ash Morgan.
Well done, Ash. She looked pretty professional.
Yeah, very much so. She's got a lovely attitude. She's still green with it. She pinged the gates and pricked her ears, and Jace also was trying to jump the fence from the 600 onwards, and I just had to let Kieran come out underneath me to help me. And when I put him away, she had to float again, but she's very tough and she's a long way from where she's going to be, so it was a good win.
You said she pinged the gates. Is that where the saddle slipped?
I felt uncomfortable from a long way out, so I'm tipping it was. I pulled it up and I didn't see where the pommel was, so I knew it was a long way back.
Well done, bud.
Thank you, mate.
A long neck by a length, 8, 7, 2 and 1. A rough result to this Randwick card opening. $43.70 and $6 for Thrill Hunter beating Pearl of Dubai and Defenceman.
Angel in the Wind. Morgan looking for the first two. There's the light. Gates are back, they're off. Right Your Own flopped out of the gates last, and that's where it'll settle. Ghost Walker jumped all right. Krista's pretty handy to the speed, and so's the favourite Poison Point, who's going forward and might even lead here from King Jerry. Then the Craft, and caught a little bit wide early as Krista has got a bit of work to do to find a spot. Swinging High camps right behind them, followed by Release Point on the rails. Two after Ghost Walker from Upwardly Mobile. Southern Dancer gets back. Then came Right Your Own improving to fourth last in front of one Jad Release Point. Angel in the Wind is the last one. So Craft went up the inside, and Craft takes the lead away from the favourite Poison Point, is a lot closer in the run today. King Jerry plonks in third, and Krista got across now, one out, one back, in front of Swinging High on the outside, then of Terror Spree on the rails. Two off to Upwardly Mobile from Ghost Walker, and Southern Dancer starting a run, going around them pretty quickly, and Wanjad tries to jump onto its back. Right Your Own missed the boat there, got close to heels from Angel in the Wind as they race to the home turn. Craft in front from Poison Point. Southern Dancer strides to third. Ghost Walker gets going. Wanjad out deep. Right behind them is King Jerry. Now Krista's in a bit of a pocket. Coming up the rise, Southern Dancer joined Poison Point. They beat off Craft. Ghost Walker puts in a claim, then Wanjad, and further back to Krista looking for room. Ghost Walker moves up on the outside of Southern Dancer, Poison Point. Krista's all cluttered up. Ghost Walker still going after Southern Dancer. Southern Dancer's kicking hard here. Southern Dancer's going to win it. Beat Poison Point. Krista finally got into the clear running third. Upwardly Mobile dashing home, then Ghost Walker Swinging High. King Jerry behind them. A gap in the field to Angel in the Wind from Release Point. Further back to Terror Spree. Then came Craft from Wanjad, and Right Your Own was always back towards the rear of the field.
Well, somebody thought it was Christmas when Tim Ryan put up 50 to 1 when markets were first posted. 50 to 1 into 12 to 1. Southern Dancer, Tyler Schiller and Gary Colvin. Couple of boys from the Riverina get the money. Number 8, Southern Dancer will be first, beating Poison Point, Krista. And not sure what's run fourth. Horse inside Ghost Walker. I think it's one of Rod Northam's. In fact, it's number 9, Upwardly Mobile. It runs fourth, Ronnie.
Yeah, wow, that was some big bets landed there. 50s in, the Wagga's jumping up and down, I'm sure about that one. It was off a good win there. So she's obviously come back much better. I thought when Tyler took off, I thought, what are you doing taking off here? He knew what he was doing because he had plenty up the sleeve hitting the line there and still had plenty left after you would have thought he was a sitting shot. Poison Point has run another very brave race. I'm going to have another look to see if Krista was unlucky there. I just took my eyes off her. If it is, she's had hard luck stories all the way. Let's have a look in behind here. She's behind Poison Point and just behind.
Just a little bit stiff, I think, Ronnie.
Yeah, maybe a little bit stiff. We'll have another look at that anyway. But good effort, the winner, making that long, sustained run.
That's what I like about Tyler's riding too, Ronnie. He's not afraid to make a move when he sees something going on. He took off on that horse at about the half mile, so peak ride. Well done, Tyler. Nice little mid-race move from a horse that doesn't have a turn of foot.
Yeah, she's a bonny little mare. She only came out of a Wagga Riverside win, which probably isn't the best form down in the Riverina, but Gary doesn't bring him up here for no reason. He definitely brings the right ones, and she was probably placed well today, being on the outside, being that 2,000 metre horse in time. I think she had that lovely trip to get her momentum up, and she did a really good job late.
At what point did you think you were the winner?
About the 200, when I went past the favourite, I thought I was going to be hard to beat, but I still thought something off my back was going to come, and to her credit, she kept fighting through the line. She was super strong, and as Gaz said, she'll get 2,000, so she's done a really good job today.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Broadway Bouncers buzzing up there in stall number 1. Waiting for Tyler Schiller to be seated again. Set now. Gates are back there, off and racing. Broadway Bouncer missed the kick. Amaretta Bow given a positive ride. Oakfield Jupiter as well. Mafia pushed on, and Zanaka's right there underneath them. Zuccarino's handy to the action, being restrained on the outside of Lady Shenanigans. Moto Scarf is out wide on the outside as Show County, then Clear Proof. Length and a half to So Good So Cool, and a gap to Killer Kerr and Broadway Bouncer. Going on with the job, Amaretta Bow really wants the front through the outside. Leads from Mafia and Oakfield Jupiter, so the two favourites poised right behind the front runner. Zanaka fourth the rails, followed by Zuccarino. Moto Scarfu on a 3-wide path. Lady Shenanigans the fence, Show County the middle. Then So Good So Cool, Clear Proof, Broadway Bouncer and Killer Kerr. Into the straight, Amaretta Bow in front. From Mafia joining it, and Oakfield Jupiter as well given the cue. Oakfield Jupiter and Mafia storm to the front together, and Oakfield Jupiter going better. Zanaka's taking a rouse run coming on, and further back to Zuccarino, Clear Proof needing room. Oakfield Jupiter at the 100, 2 lengths clear now, and Oakfield Jupiter, that's a great first up win. A real mob of them for the Miners. Moto Scarf, who's got enormous to run second. Third maybe Zuccarino. Amaretta Bow and Zanaka, the other two in it. Followed by Clear Proof, then came Lady Shenanigans, Broadway Bouncer, Killer Kerr. Further back to Show County, stopping pretty sharply, and So Good So Cool was one of the last in.
Oakfield Jupiter, she won her first two at Wyong and Gosford, then they had a crack at the Denise's Joy, went out for a break and is back now, first up with a win. Number 10, Oakfield Jupiter, Jason Collett, Damien Lane will win. Moto Scarfo number 6 and 15, Zuccarino. Might be the way they finish for the Miners there. Yep, Moto Scarfo and Zuccarino, and it'll be Zanaka over on the inside looking down fourth.
Yeah, well set up by Damien Lane, but he was helped by an absolute pearler of a ride from a wide draw from Jason. Didn't use her ride up, got across there, give her a rest, let the two leaders go and present it, and she was strong. So she might have a little bit of upside, and she'll get a lot of confidence out of that. She's untapped and I suggest she's eligible for another Midway and could well be a good candidate for her next time as well.
It was a terrific ride, as you said, Ronnie, not just from the bad gate to get over where he did in the 1-1 position, but top in the straight when he had Mafia come up underneath him with Kieran McAvoy. Obviously, he could have got a bit of a squeeze and a bit of a buffet going on to try and hold Mafia back in behind the leader. But what he done, he allowed Kieran McAvoy to come off the fence to give him a bit more of a drag back into the race. So, yes, it was a very, very smart ride from Jason Collett.
1:10.82 outside the class record of 1:8.56 held by With Your Blessing. 1:10.82, and they've run home in 35.27. 10.6.15.9 numbers are up. Well done, Damo. Lovely first up win. Great ride.
Super ride. I must admit I was shattered on Wednesday when the gates come out, but look, obviously Jason's riding with great confidence, and he said he wanted to be 1-1, and that's where he put her. And yeah, look, she's a beautiful mare. She just always showed a lot. I've sort of said to Bruce a while ago, she's the best one that you've sent me, and I just think her whole attitude, she's matured this prep, and there's still more to her. Like, she was only first up. That's the first time she's been over 1,200. She won a couple of 1,000-metre races, and look, she's got plenty of upside, and I think she'll run 1,400, even a mile later on. So really happy for Bruce. He puts a lot of trust in me with these horses, and she's a beautiful mare.
Well done, Damo.
Thanks.
Point and Shoot is a dominant favourite. Gates are back. Well, he's done it again, Point and Shoot. He's missed the kick, but only by 2 lengths. Fortune jumped out well. You're on mute right there with Invasive Dreams, Kintyre handy. Ruby Flyers railing through inside, super helpful. A couple off to Zondi. Great week wide out. Jojo was a man being restrained and resenting it. Victoria Road pokes up on the inside, and Point and Shoot last out of the gates, and he'll settle last. He's 10 off the front runner. Invasive Dream shows the way. Fortune second, followed by Ruby Flyer racing through on the inside of You're on Mute, and right between them is Kintyre. They're followed by Super Helpful from Zondi. Victoria Road tugging along back in the field from Great Week. Jojo is a man still firing up, and a length and a half last of all is Point and Shoot. 800 metres to go, and the front runner on the inside, Invasive Dreams, by a half length on Fortune, and Kintyre rolls to third out 3 wide. Then Ruby Flyer from You're on Mute. Zondi in a 3 wide line with cover. They're followed by Super Helpful. Jojo was a man, Great Week. Further back then as they come to the turn, Victoria Road all cluttered up. Point and Shoot's last, and about to hook to the outside. The favourite 8 lengths off the lead, coming up the rise. Fortune moved up, took the lead from Invasive Dreams. Kintyre's batting on. Further back, Ruby Flyer, Zondi. Point and Shoot starting to wind up now. It's Fortune 2 lengths clear inside the 150 from Point and Shoot, coming with the last run on the outside, and Ruby Flyer between them. At Fortune still in front. Fortune kept going. Fortune won it by 3/4 to Ruby Flyer. Point and Shoot out of Bullets late third, followed by Super Helpful. Then came Invasive Dreams. Kintyre Every Hope did cover a bit of ground, but weakened out. Then Zondi, a gap to Jojo as a man. He was pulling his head off all the way towards the rear. From Great Week, You're on Mute, and not a great return for Victoria Road. It's wound up near last.
Number 10, Fortune, carried on like a pork chop in the mounting yard, through a plate, and wins and holds off Ruby Flyer, a great big dance trial. It'll be back here on Tuesday week for the big dance, and then you had the favourite, Point and Shoot, third.
Yeah, he had a lot to do, the favourite, as expected, but not making excuses for him. He should have had a bit on that lot. He's really bounced back, that horse. He obviously didn't travel to Callander well, and he had his issues going into that race as far as playing up and hadn't be reshod, but he had the favours with the tempo of the race and gets the job done. It was a good big dance trial for Ruby Flyer. If he happens to get this rain next week going into Melbourne Cup Day, he does love it wet and brings him into play. And Point and Shoot, like I said, had too much to do because they didn't go that hard up front. But I still think he was in striking distance there at the 200 and just didn't finish it off, but had a lot to do.
I thought it was a nice win too, Duff. Like, he was there to be beaten as well. Alicia probably got there a little bit too soon for her liking, but I just like the way that he toughed it out. If he can ever learn to harness that bit of nervous energy, he's going to make a nice horse.
135.75, 34.79 the run home, 10.5, 9 and 12.
Congratulations, Alicia. Nice little win. It'd be a nice horse if you learn to harness that nervous energy.
I think that's just the makeup of him. He's annoying in every way. He tries to do something, or you ask something of him and he wants to do the exact opposite, but he's put 2 wins this campaign nicely in a row at Randwick here, and I think they're on the clue with sort of what distance and how to ride him.
You like riding him up on speed?
Yeah, you're out of trouble. It's beautiful.
Well done.
Thank you.
Cura Brian Crowley Stakes over 1200, and the gates are back. They're off and racing. Nab Hard jumped well with Matima and Paladin away well wide out. Young Mr. Grace is pushing through, clear from Sky Glider. Miss Freelove's going to settle third last in front of Memo, and the favourite Grand Eagles last of all as Young Mr. Grace whips up on the inside and takes the lead. And he's travelling well here for Gibbons by a half on Nab Hard. Paladin's caught wide over on the inside. Sky Glider, Matima between them. Length and a half to Miss Freelove. Grand Eagle will ride for luck on the inside, and now Memo is last of all. 600 to go, and Young Mr. Grace extends the lead. 2 lengths on Nabha, Paladin the outside. Then Sky Glider has been just niggled a bit on the inside. Grand Eagle goes right up the rails. Matima well back in the field, bumped there with Miss Freelove. Memo still last of all. Young Mr. Grace a narrow leader from Sky Glider, and Paladin travels up the outside. Miss Freelove running on, Grand Eagle behind them plotting. starting. It's Paladin and Sky Glider fighting it out now, the final 100. Sky Glider's lifting on the inside, fending off Paladin, and Sky Glider draws away for a good win in the Brian Crowley. A length and a half Paladin. Grand Eagle made up many lengths for third, then Miss Free Lover. Memo too far back. Young Mr. Grace weakened out, followed by Matima, and Nabha was last to finish.
Sky Glider remains unbeaten. A win at Canterbury back in July. First up today, 2 out of 2. Chris Waller and Kerem McAvoy. It looked like the old Paladin was back. Looming up under collet for Michael Freedman. Sky Glider kicked away. And it'll be Grand Eagle getting into third.
Yeah, nice horse. It might be a nice horse. You'd expect he could lift again off that, knowing the trend of the stable, but he sat there, he sprinted quickly. He was first up. He was only out of a midweek race 94 days ago, and his 2 trials have been solid. So you have to give him credit. He could be one for the future, and that sort of the Roman Consul form did stack up, but they just may have run into the wrong horse here.
He's a nice little horse, Ronnie. If you notice, he obviously led there at Canterbury and travelled really strong in that race, but he got a little bit lost just back in behind the speed. But once he got clear air at the top of the straight there, he really lengthened stride. I reckon they've got a nice horse on their hands here.
Sky Glider, number 7, beats 3 Paladin, 2 Grand Eagle, 8 Miss Freelove. They've run 109.95, 19.95, home in 34.8. A length and a half. Sky Glider, 5.90, 1.90. Paladin pays $1.80. Grand Eagle, $1.50. And that is the Brian Crowley. Next up, the Craven Plate. Only 6 to go round in the Sincotta Chemist Craven Plate. That'll be next from here at Randwick. Done, Darren. He looks like he might be a colt with a bit of promise. He's won a listed race at his second start.
Yes, well, it was only winter form, but the horses that were around him, that finished alongside of him, have gone on to bigger and better things. So, look, if you had a stable full of horses like this fella, it'd be an easy job. He just puts himself in the right spot, gives himself every opportunity, and fights like a tiger.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Well done, K-Mac. He's a really nice horse.
Yeah, he's a lovely little horse, Brownie. He's a lovely horse to sit on. He's got a good attitude. And, his form out of Canterbury was strong, with 60s running behind him, and he's given me a nice feel there today, so it didn't surprise me that he was able to go out there and get mobile when I asked him and put the race away.
Did he lose the bridle and get a little bit lost at the 600?
A tiny bit, yeah. I was sort of mindful of trying to stay in touch, but also have him comfortable, and that saw me travelling a little bit further adrift than what I thought he'd be, but pace was fine, and to the horse's credit, he picked up through the last part of the corner to get out into the clear and did his best work. So, he's on an upward spiral, that's for sure.
Well done.
Ta.
In the Craven Plate, Lindemann a raging favourite. They're all set now, ready to run, and they're racing. Lindemann jumped well. Looks as though he'll take the lead. And El Costello from the inside barrier is going to park in second early. Clear then from Bois de Jean Militarise. A couple off to Democracy Manifest. And Kovalik has been taken back to last. And already he's about 8 or 9 lengths off the lead as Lindemann does his thing and rolls along in the lead of the 1400 metres. Out by 2.5 to El Costello, who won the Spring Champion Stakes this time last year. And he's chasing the hot favourite today. 2 off to Bois de Jean, a length and a half to 2 lengths to Militarise, a gap then to Democracy Manifest, and Kovalika is still back last. I'd say the margin's still about 9 lengths first to last, and Lindemann, it's been a great spring for him, and he's looking for another 430,000 in prize money today. 1,000 to go, Lindemann 2 in front, Duel Costello travelling kindly in second, then came Bois de Jean from Militarise. Kovalika just starting to improve his position a little bit and gets 3/4 of a length up on Democracy Manifest. So about 7 covers the field now. Lindemann loafing along by a length to El Costello. 2 off to Bois de Jean. Length and a half Militarise. 3/4 the outside now Kovalika. And Democracy Manifest, the outsider of the field, is last of all. So Lindemann in front. Now El Costello gets moving on the outside, and Chad Schofield wants to try and rattle the cage of Lindemann, but he's cruising in the lead coming up the rise. Now he gives him a bit of rain, Lindemann. Lindemann, and he raced 2.5 clear from El Costello. Is in second position. Militarised is picking up now. Kovalika making some headway, but what a spring it's been for Lindemann. 3 lengths clear with 50 metres to go, and Lindemann cracks the $4 million mark. Militarised doing his best work late grab second. Photo third. Kovalika lunging at El Costello, and a gap to Bois de Jean and Democracy Manifest.
Back-to-back Craven plates for Lindemann. Lindemann, Chris Waller and Nashua are a tick under $1.9 million just this spring, courtesy of wins in the Chelmsford, the Hill Stakes and the Craven Plate, runner-up in the $1 Million 7 Stakes. After flopping on a heavy track first up, he's done nothing wrong since that day. And we're just waiting to see whether Chris has trained the trifecta here with Militarised, and then you had El Costello was hanging on for a placing. We're just going to see another shot of that, but in isolation it's Lindemann too good for them, and he's good old mate Nash giving him an easy time.
Yeah, he's a terrific horse. He's had a great... Just the money these good horses can earn at this time of year is just astronomical when they're placed like this. He just picks his mark. $2 million race last time and $750 today, and gets the job done. So he's Militarised has battled on okay. I think maybe Kovalika has run third there. And I like the... Look, they had a crack with El Costello. They tried to soften him up before the turn and just rattle the cage, as Darren said. That it was worth a crack, but it didn't work. He's just going too well, this horse.
He is going too well, Ronnie, and the way Nash rides him with such confidence. He did jump well. Bois de Jean was probably a fraction slow away. I thought he might have been outside him to put a little bit more pressure on him, but like you said, he was there to be beaten, but they're just not good enough to beat him.
1, 4, 3 and 7. Kovalika has run third. El Costello fourth. They've run 1:48.96, home in 35.19. Well done, Darren. When you joined Chris Waller's stable, did you quickly realise he was such a popular horse, this Lindemann?
No, he's a stable favourite. Everyone loves him. He just goes about his business, gets the job done, and he actually on Tuesday morning, he gave the young girl a ride for her life. Like, she towed him around. So he towed her around. She come back with a beaming smile. So he loves his work, he loves his environment, and loves it on race day.
At the start of the prep, when he struck that heavy track, you're wondering, well, where is he? Where's Lindemann at?
Exactly, and it's not till he's been able to get into these type of races where he's been able to dictate smaller fields and just enjoy racing, and he's just thrived and got fitter through racing, and it's perfect.
Well done, Darren.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nasher. Craven plate, not quite the Cox plate, but he wouldn't have been out of place down there.
No, he would have been well, mate, for sure. But look, I think my dream would be to have a horse to still go there next year, and he's been beautifully looked after, and now he's just a very confident racehorse, and I'd just love to maybe see him have a breakdown and come back in the autumn and be the number one.
He had his own way for a long while, but Chad tried to soften you up on the home turn.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, look, I felt like I say, like he looks like he's going slow, but he's not. We're running the time. I've got a couple of cheaper sectionals that I was happy with, but there's no denying the horse. He's just in great form. He's been very well placed, and I think he's done his job. He can go out full of confidence and come back a bit early in the autumn and get ready and have an extra trial and everything else, and might see which way he went.
Well placed and well ridden. Good on you, mate.
Like I said, he's been beautifully looked after and placed, and that's why you could see next season we're going to have a real champion, I reckon.
Well done.
And the 3-year-olds are set. In a very good betting race. Gates are back now, racing. There's a great line out. Dusty Bay jump wheel with O'Hope, Ruination, Nordic Viking handy, and Rivellino's creeping right up along the rails. Now Duke of Arrakis is not among the leading division. It settles back with Firmboy, and Polish Playgirl is last. So Ruination with the head in front early stages. The roughy Dusty Bay giving its head wide out, and Dusty Bay will scoot across and lead, and Ruination plonks in second. Then Nordic Viking, a length and a half to O'Hope, well positioned. Rivellino Rivellino 2 lengths away. Then came for Moy, Duke of Arrakis, no speed. It is back keeping the filly, Polish Playgirl company at the rear of the field. So Dusty Bay having its fun in the lead, leads by 2.5 to Ruination. Nordic Viking third, 1.5 lengths to O'Hope. Then came for Moy, travelling strongly on the outside of Rivellino. 1.5 lengths Polish Playgirl on the outside of Duke of Arrakis. 6.50 to go. Dusty Bay rolling along by 3 lengths now on Ruination. Then Nordic Viking, O'Hope just being nudged along a bit, just keeping up with the horse in front. A gap to Rivellino on the inside of Moy as they straighten up. Dusty Bay extends the lead to about 4 on Nordic Viking. Ruination, Berry sitting quietly. Then O'Hope has got Rivellino in a pocket. Dusty Bay's coming back to them somewhat by 1.5 lengths, and O'Hope cuts loose on the outside. Charged to the lead from Ruination, Rivellino, and then came for Moy, but O'Hope 2 lengths clear. Rivellino is bridging the margin, but O'Hope's got a 1. O'Hope goes home a winner in the Callander-presnell by a 1/2 length Rivellino. Then a gap 2 for Moy is run third. Duke of Arrakis warmed up late from Dusty Bay. Ruination dropped off from Nordic Viking and Polish Playgirl.
O'Hope has taken out the double, the Tap Craig and the Callander-presnell. The listed Tap Craig, the Group 2 Callander-presnell, O'Hope, Jason Collett and Michael Freedman beats number 1 Rivellino. Nashwilla on board for Chris Lees, runs into about a 1/2 length in the end to O'Hope, the favourite, too good. And what is going to run third here? It'll be Moy, number 5.
Yeah, he's going well, isn't he? So that form line is okay. I think Paul Tim was 100% right there. He liked that form line, and that was proven correct. But, oh boy, I reckon he should have won the second horse. He lost momentum at a vital stage, then took him a while to wind into his work. And he seemed to be bolting when he sort of run into that dead end on the point of the turn. And if we have another look at it, Nash is just, if we see this overhead here, he's just in behind them there. Obviously, Ruination takes him nowhere. He hesitates. O'Hope's gone off and gone, and it just takes him a while to gather himself up and charge to the line there. So I think even Nash will agree there that maybe that was the one that got away there with Rivellino.
Yeah, it was an absolute 10 out of 10 there, boy. About the 600 metre mark, he actually had a sneaky look back towards the fence to see where Nash was on Rivellino, and then even up the top of the rise he sort of shut the gate on him, knowing that he was looking for a run up underneath him. But just a very, very smart ride there by Jason Collett. Well done.
Hope's going to pay $2.90 and $1.10. Rivellino is going to pay $1.30 and $5.54. Moy 2, 1 and 5. 6 has run fourth. 6 has run fourth. That's Dusty Bay, a 1/2 length by 2 3/4, and they've run 1:36.06. 1:36.06. It hasn't been posted officially. That is race number 7. The quaddie's underway. When we come back, the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes.
Well done, Jace. That was a 10 out of 10. You had him where you wanted him.
Thanks, Corey. Yeah, I was in the right spot. I knew where Nash was. Obviously, I had Tommy's back, and yeah, full of horse over the rise there. And he's a lovely type. He's the mile fine, suits lovely. He's going to be a good horse in time.
Riding with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, thanks. It's just nice to get on some good stock today. But quiet the last couple of weeks, but look, just reflective of the horses that you get to ride. And today I'm on the good ones.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done, Michael. You've got the Media Legends double. The Tap Craig, Callander-presnell accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. I just said to Ken Callander then, it's a big thrill, to win these races named in honour of those sorts of guys who've been in the industry, and I've grown up reading their articles or listening to their calls. So certainly a big thrill to win this race and to win it for Godolphin as well. My first sort of stint with them, and he's an exciting colt.
So what do you really think about him going forward now?
Yeah, look, this is his first real prep with me. He won his maiden back at Hawkesbury in August, and here he is winning a Group 2 race on a big day. So it's been a fantastic prep. I think probably about a mile sees him out, and I think his pedigree would sort of suggest that. But I'm really excited for the autumn with him. I think Randwick Guineas and those sorts of races. But I think anything between 12 and a mile would be in his hitting zone.
And that does him for this prep?
I'd say so. I mean, never make decisions race day, but as I said, he's been up and about since sort of the middle of August race-wise. you know, there wouldn't be much tempting me to drive him on from here. I think give him a nice little break and look forward to the autumn with him.
Why not? Well done.
Thank you.
In the Bowden Shandong Spring Champion Stakes, stand by. Shangri-La Boy drawn barrier 2, and he jumped brilliantly, the favourite. Shangri-La Boy hops straight to the front from the Pearls, and Tambaloa going forward. Crusader Voyage with blinkers on, showing a bit of speed, and San Giovanni in the thick of the action as well. Officiate parks in behind from Champagne Hero. They're followed then by Southern Prince, has taken a spot down on the inside as She's a Diva. Attica settles back on the outside of Queen of Clubs. Then Federalist, and Within the Law was snagged back to last from the outside gate. Tambaloa charges to the lead down the back now. Opens up by 2.5 on Shangri-La Boy. 2 off to San Giovanni third, then the Pearls fourth the rails. Length and a half to Crusader Voyage, travelling strongly in these shades. 2 further back to Officiate, then came Champagne Hero. Further back to She's a Diva, getting keen on the outside of Southern Prince. 2 off to Queen of Clubs on the inside of Attica. Then Federalist, and Within the Law is last of all in the Spring Champion Stakes. Halfway out, Tambaloa leads by a length now, and Shangri-La Boy getting closer. Then San Giovanni on the outside of the Pearls. Crusader Voyage back in fifth. Then came Officiate from Champagne Hero. Further back to Southern Prince, She's a Diva. Attica just creeping a little bit closer now, going into a 3-wide position. Within the Law tries to improve. Queen of Clubs and Federalist is still the last one. 600 out. Tambaloa a half in front to Shangri-La Boy. San Giovanni's hard at it. The Pearl still travelling well, going to third. They're followed by Officiate on the inside of Crusader Voyage. Champagne Hero. Attica now pulls to the outside into the straight. Tambaloa a narrow leader, but Shangri-La Boy is going after it strongly and quickly. Shangri-La Boy dashes to the front. The Pearl's running on fairly. Attica down the outside, 4 lengths away. Shangri-La Boy a big leader inside the 150. Attica is bridging the gap quickly. Shangri-La Boy a length in front. Attica's going to make a last lunge. Attica, yes, got up, won the Spring Champion. Right on the wire, knocking off Shangri-La Boy. Then the Pearls from Southern Prince, Tambaloa. Queen of Clubs running on. Further back to Within the Law, She's a Diva. A gap to Federalist from Champagne Hero, San Giovanni, Crusader Voyage. And a big gap back to Officiate.
Attica stamps himself as a very, very good horse. He had no right to win that. He had no right to pick up Shangri-La Boy. Bit by bit, he wore him down and gets up right on the line. He's put in 2 bottlers in a row now, the Dulcify and the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes. Joe Pride, the trainer, Godolphin have had a big double here today. Hope has moments ago taken out the Group 2 Callander-presnell. Now they've got a Group 1.
Huge win, huge win. I don't think he stopped the second horse. He just that he powered over the top of him. That's as simple as that. He was terrific there, with a couple of more of the on-paces hanging on there for second, third, fourth, and maybe even fifth. So you've got to hand it to him. I think he's pretty smart. Looked all over a winner when he sprinted. You'd say all over here when he dashed past the lead there, Shangri-La Boy, but he dug in and he had a go and he was fantastic there. Attica, and Joe was right again. He's got a very promising horse for the autumn.
He's got a massive will to win, Ronnie, like to come from back off the speed like where he did. Shangri-La Boy obviously got across. He got attacked a little bit when the speed went into the race down the back, but he got, you know, some cheap easy sectionals down 3.5 mile through, but to come from where Attica has, when he pinned the ears back, I thought he was on toast there at about the 200 metre mark, but he picked himself back up again and just charged through the line, so he's a really smart horse.
This new era of Godolphin has continued. They just picked up the 9 trainers where James Cummings left off. 2:3.47 the race time, 2:3.47, and the last 600 in 36.28. Here comes a very informed Adam Hieronymus back to scale after winning the Mowat and Shandong Spring Stakes. Number 1 Attica by Lonro out of Savatiaro. Attica, Hieronymus and Pride. Adam, congratulations. What an amazing performance by this horse.
Yeah, it's pretty good, wasn't it? He's a quality colt, and I had about 85 different plans, and I don't think any of them were wrong, but I owed this one to my dad because what he's instilled in me in my riding career helped me win this race today.
Why do you mean that?
Just everything he's taught me since I was first started riding, and the basics. He just drilled the basics into me every day. I'd call him after the races, and it's the same thing. Or every time I went to the races, it's the same thing. He drilled the same thing into me, and it's just keep it simple. And that was the biggest thing. Out of my 85 plans, he was still the best horse, and I felt he was always going to win. It was just a matter of how it unfolded for us. Don't get me wrong, I've ridden the second horse, and I don't know if Adrian was trying to play mind games with me through the week, but I galloped him, and I was like, oh, geez. And when I looked up and he dashed away, I was like, oh, wow, and I just kept edging, and then that sort of 150 metres, I knew I was always going to pick him up. But for him to do that, and the way he's won in that fashion, and the times that he's run, it's this early in his career, it's very exciting.
Very exciting, well done.
Thank you, cheers.
Pride, we've just seen an emerging star, I think.
I think so. And look, it's hard to judge these horses. You're racing, the best of an age group quite early on in their life. But what I will say about this horse, it's not like he's a precocious type that was you'd expect to be jumping out of the ground at this age. He's got a lot of improvement to make, a lot of furnishing to do in that big frame of his. But the obvious thing is, the engine that he's displaying at the moment. There's a proper V8 under the bonnet there, and I can't wait to see what he does as he gets older.
When the second horse kicked, did you give this horse any hope of picking him up?
I was worried. I thought the race was over. He looked like he'd kicked sufficiently. You see Nash sort of give one and kick him away like that. It's going to be a big effort to run him down, and I don't think he stopped. I think my horse just found what he needed to. So pretty much we can't get carried away. It's early on in his life, but I've never had one win a Group 1 in their first preparation, so it's pretty special.
So a couple of firsts for you today. That's the first colt that you've won a Group 1 with, and the first Group 1 in first prep.
Yes, yep. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I'm sure it is actually. Most of them might have been more older horses, but Godolphin have been good enough to hand over some really nice horses, and horses that are bred to do exactly what this bloke's done today, not necessarily pedigree-wise for the distance, but quality horses with deep pedigrees. His mother was a great race mare, Savatiano, and father was a champion in Lonrose, so very exciting.
Does he win over 2,000 metres because he's brilliant, or do you think he will get there in the future again?
You know what, I think he'll have no problems getting there in the future, because it was a win that required stamina. It wasn't just he won with brilliance. He was brilliant in itself, but he won with a real test of stamina. So plenty to come for this horse. As I say, I'd love to think we can win Group 1s over shorter distances, but that'll be decided in the autumn.
Ray, how many Group 1s for Godolphin since James? Two. Yeah,
good to be part of it.
It is. You're one of 9, so it's a big part of your stable now.
When that gets whittled down, I don't want to be missing out. So,
no,
but
I don't think you're missing out now.
No, look, I'm really happy. As I say, they've given me some beautiful horses. There's quite a few more at home that I'm very excited about, and can't wait.
Stand by. Breaks are back. They're off and racing. Gerringong pinged out, and Gangster Granny did as well the outside. They're the two leaders. O'Diamond Lil Manal right there. Miss Rimbini jumped well. She's just looking for a spot now. Bahini is right up in the thick of the action as well, with Overriding and a length and a half to Steffi Magnetica. Couple off to Firestorm. Out wide more territories from Monty Supreme, and a couple of lengths off to Dark Glitter. O'Diamond Lil takes the lead away from Gerringong. Gangster Granny in third. A length and a half then to Manal, and Miss Rumbini on a 3-wide path, overriding the fence. Bahini between runners, with Steffi Magnetica 3-wide, getting a good trail behind the favourite. Then came Firestorm, Monty Supreme, more territories 3-wide, second last, and Dark Glitter is the last one. 600 to go. O'Diamond Little, a length in front of Gerringong. Then came Gangster Granny, a clear third. 2 lengths to Overriding from Manala. Miss Rumbini's been 3-wide from the start, and Bahini between runners. Monty Supreme Well back in the field there together with Steffi Magnetica. O'Diamond at the 300, being pressured now by Gerringong. Gangster Granny closing in, a length and a half to Manala. Steffi's unwinding with a good run on the outside. Gerringong a narrow leader from Gangster Granny. Gangster Granny, Gerringong, Steffi Magnetica swamping them wide out. Steffi, yes, she got there. Steffi Magnetica in the last few bounds beat Gerringong. I think Manal third from Gangster Granny. Bohenia late. Further back to O'Diamond Lil, Dark Glitter, Miss Rumbini, wide all the way from Overriding, More Territories, and Modi Supreme was one of the last to finish.
There she is, the $7 million girl. $7 million in the bank. Steffi Magnetica wins the $2 million the invitation. A Group 2 today to go alongside a Doncaster and a Stradbroke, and what a finish over the top of them. Jason Collett and Björn Baker. They combine with Steffi Magnetica here at Royal Randwick.
She's a star. She's a star. Just look at the races that she's won, the way she's gone about it. 59.5 and just overpowers them there. He found the favourites back, peeled off it, and she just come with that customary sprint that she's got. That's a good training performance. Just off a little setback, they back to the drawing board, gets her right for this race. Beautiful trial, and she delivers.
And another 10 out of 10 there by Jason Collett, Ronnie. He's got so much confidence in this mare, just letting her settle back where she did. She had a good run. She got up in the bridle there, a little bit of speed coming out of the race at about the 600 metre mark, and she got up on heels there for a couple of strides, but once they lengthened out again and she got to the outside, gee, she's got a big finish and a big will to win.
Look at this from the drone. She picks them off, got past Miss Rumbini, got past More Territories. Now she sets her sights on Manal and Overriding, and she's still got to get past Gerringong and also Gangster Granny, and she does that from behind them over in the air. You see the best of Steffi Magnetica winning the invitation. The Steffi tie. Did you go back and put that on, did you?
Oh, I got given it after the race. I got given 42 of them. I only picked up one. How good to be here. You need your good horses to step up. I said, if she doesn't win today, I'm in a fair bit of froth and bubble.
Why?
Well,
couldn't have had a better.
You need your best horses to step up and perform. And I had Overpass last week, and I've had her this week, and it was a great performance. She's a very, very special mare.
What about how she mowed them down with a big weight, 59.5?
Yeah, and she's hard to catch when I think she's an absolute moral. She gets beat, except for Wellington. But I got a bit out of that day. Anyway,
we're going back a long way now.
And then when I think she's very vulnerable, she wins. And I didn't have any confidence coming in today. Off a little bit of a setback, and she was great. Jason's riding great. A great team of owners. So very, very lucky to train a great mare like her. So a great day.
And you think she'll get better now after that run? I mean, what is another step now for her?
We've got a few old sparring partners down in Melbourne, and we wouldn't mind taking them on in the Champions Mile, and so we'll just see how she comes through. It's just good to see her back, and I thought if we didn't have the setback, I thought the King Charles last week was the ideal race for her, and I still back myself to think she'd be very, very good there. So it's hard to win races at this time of the year, and you need a very special horse and very special team behind you, and I'm very lucky to have both.
Well done, Björn.
Thank you.
And here's Jason Collett, the winning rider on Steffi Magnetica with Corey Brown.
Wow, Jace, what a finish this Ripper mare's got.
She does, yeah. She's explosive. I had Miss Rabini's back and I was really happy, and Manal sort of popped and sort of come back on my lap about the 700 as you saw it as well, and I half checked her, but yeah, like her turn of foot's brilliant, especially held together.
But how long she sustains it for?
Yeah, look, that was obviously a wee bit of a concern when I was giving them such a big start. Like the Doncaster, I was able to suck up and behind off a moderate tempo, and probably the same as like the Stradbroke when she come underneath them, whereas today she's come around them, so very good.
Right, you're riding good.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Well done.
And we're ready to go. The light is on for the 5 Diamonds Prelude. Starter about to release the field, press of the button and away they go now. And the Inflictor left sharply off the inside together with the favourite Transatlantic. L'Vampire pretty handy together with Shadizi there in the white cap. General Salute going forward out wide in advance of Fukabana. Miss Emma taken back. They're followed by N-Cap, a length and a half to Soul Coach from Michaela. And Cafe Millennium has switched off at the rear of the field. The Inflictor shows the way into the first bend, out by a length on the favourite Transatlantic. Shadizi in a very handy third. 3/4 then to L'Vampire. A length and a half to Fukabana is over racing. General Salute got in one off the fence. 2 lengths away then to N-Cap from Miss Emma. Further back to Soul Coach. Now Cafe Millennium is starting a run 3 wide approaching the bend. And Michaela's back last of all approaching the home turn. It's the Inflictor in front. Narrowly from Transatlantic. Then came Shadizi on the inside of L'Vampire. Further back to Fukabana. General Salute and Cafe Millennium still making ground on the outside. Into the straight now, and the Inflictor shows the way from Transatlantic. They're followed by Shadizi, stoked up. L'Vampire keeps it in a pocket. 2 further back to General Salute as Transatlantic just cruised up on the outside and raced past the Inflictor. Shadizi working into the clear. Transatlantic a half length in front, 3/4. Shadizi's running on. The Inflictor still there from L'Vampire and General Salute, but Transatlantic, the last favourites home. That's a big win. Photo for the Miners. General Salute lunging at the Inflictor. Shadizi every hope 4th. Followed then by L'Vampire from N-Cap, Cafe Millennium. Further back to Fukabana running on from Michaela. A gap to Miss Emma. And Salt Coach was never in it.
He only had, well, in the looks of it, Ron, he only had one danger, and that was Shadizi, and it was never going to get at it anyway.
No, that's right, and he had it too comfortable. He was in a beautiful rhythm, and he did a real toughen up, fit racehorse off a Group 1 win where, a couple of those chasers like your Shadizis and your L'Vampires, they're a run short or going into a grand final into the future. So although they've run well, he just set up too well. He was too well weighted in a race like that, and it was a good plan to bring him here and as the next step to pick up $1 million race like that.
It was a great ride by Tommy as well, Ronnie. He just took total control of the race right from the get-go, sat up outside lead. His body language said it all through the run. He was travelling sweetly, and once he pushed the button at the top of the straight there, it was pretty much all over. So it was a one-act affair. Great ride. Well done, Tommy. Sit and steer, stand and cheer.
Yeah, the race was over halfway around. Horse of his calibre getting it that easy in the middle stages, it was going to make it hard to pick him up, and we just increased the tempo just before the corner. It's funny because Tony said to me this morning, he said, look, he's better with a sit, he floats a bit in front, and he did that with his Group 1 win, and when he gets challenged, he picks up and fights. So I just changed the stick over at the 100 to make sure we got the job done, but there wouldn't have been a better placed horse in Australia than he was today.
He was only floating because he was doing half pace.
Yeah, he was, exactly, and I actually texted Tony to say well done after he won in Melbourne, and he goes, he'd be a good ride in the 5 Diamonds, and I didn't even think he was eligible, like after winning the Group 1, but he looks like if he gets the right sort of run, in 2 weeks' time he might have it in his mercy again, hopefully.
Well done, bud.
Thanks, Brandon. Cheers.